because every once in a while I hear a guy go, "Ugh," and I know he's thinking, "Shut up and just play it, you're stupid." And if you're thinking that, go take a piss. Anyway, but we're trying. It can't be. That'll be fun. It'll be funny, and then come back and we'd love to hear about it, but we won't. No, there was a boat ride, and this is the worst thing in the world. I haven't learned it, I'm sorry, but the worst thing in the world I discovered. And my friend who wasn't there but described it very well, is like being seasick. There's two things you want to happen right away. Either you want to be on land immediately, or you want to be dead. And it's fine. Either is fine. It's not like you're not like, I must survive, like, kill me now, I just want to die. But we were on this boat, and it was meant to be, it was called, sorry Tim. It was called like the Pleasure Cruise or something. The boat was called like the Dream Yacht. That was called. It's a giant catamaran. What is it? It's something between that candy, that powdery baked good and an animal. Catamaran. Anyway, you know what it is, so just don't worry about it. It's two boats glued together with a trampoline. And so we got onto the Dream Yacht Pleasure Cruise, and they served us, and my friends and I had been up doing Alabama Slammers only because it was like, I'll try and get it done fast so nobody's angry. But so we were drinking a lot of us. I remember at one point, I think my kids may have found me in the woods naked. My daughter did a great imitation of how I walked. Anyway, he came out of the woods like this, and it wasn't good. I think it was in the shower. Anyway, but then we got on the pleasure cruise. They gave us these rum, like a good morning rum drinks, and it was delicious. But then we started going, and at first it was just heaven. My daughter and I were sitting out on the front of one of the little fronts, and it was a big one. It was a fairly large and then catamaran, whatever it's called. And we were sitting out in the front. She was sitting on my lap, and I mean, she said it, but I was thinking the same thing. It was like, this is the greatest moment of my life. She said, this is the most wonderful moment of my life. It was so beautiful, and we were when it was kind of like this. We were out in the front. It was dead calm, you know. Except that the water was going like this. You know, so the breeze, well, it wasn't dead calm. The reason it felt dead calm was because the wind, where we were going, the wind was coming. It was not a good time to sail. The wind was coming like this. You couldn't even call it wind, you'd call it like, is there anything going on? For some reason, the water was really big. It was just the worst sailing weather of all time, in the history of all time. It was supposed to take us 2 hours, and we were supposed to get there. Really, I'm trying to go fast, but I get panicky, and then I mess up everything. So, anyway, we're trying to go really fast. We were ready to stop, go for an hour, stop and have lunch on an island, then carry on another hour, and then we were meant to be there. But instead, we didn't stop, because we weren't getting anywhere. We were going to like 2 knots, or half of a knot. I don't know. Anyway, and then we were doing this. Like, but it was great at first. Like, it's the most wonderful feeling in the world. But then I had to wait or something. We went back and got further back, and everyone else was vomiting. Because we went out in the front. So then we got back there, and I went down. It happened this fast. I went down into the toilet to pee, and then while I was down, I was like, "Oh, this isn't good." And then I came out, and everyone is vomiting, and now I'm vomiting too. I had 5 vomits. I named them all. I can't remember. I named them all to try and keep us on. I wrote them on my iPhone, but I lost them. But there were some good names for them, like a Dream Yacht Pleasure Cruise. I shouldn't have had that last Alabama Slammer vomit. And there was a whole bunch of them anyway. It was the worst. It was like, oh my, the kids are vomiting, I'm vomiting. Our friends were there with their new baby, and the baby was just lying on their mom's chest, just like, it's a terrible vomit. It was the vomit cruise from hell. And there was one woman and the 2 kids who wasn't sick, and I wanted to kill her. She was a friend of ours, and I wanted her to die. You could just die. Her husband had taken pills to stop himself from vomiting, but it was not a good pill that stops you from feeling sick. It just stops you from vomiting. So he was sitting on the step at one point, and he turned around. I thought he was vomiting, but he was going, because from behind was like. And then it was terrible heaving off the side. It was like, he had to, like, he threw his back out. He was like, but he didn't vomit because he had to take the special non-vomit pills. And then he turned around, and I remember he turned around and looked at us, and he looked at us with such, and I don't think it was intentional, but he looked at us with such hatred. He was like, his eyes were burning red. Oh, and his wife was the one who didn't vomit at all, and she told me that I should eat a Mari biscuit, and then I ate this little cracker because she insisted it would make me feel better, and that was my 5th and final vomit. It was this really dry vomit. It was like this Mari biscuit. You know, like a dog, like a dog vomit. Island too. That was a good part. Really fancy. And then they stopped the boat, and we all got off the boat. You could see all the really fancy people. Were like, what the fuck is going on? Land and vomit. Sorry, that was like 8 minutes of unimportant,